Hi, my name is Marilyn. I am a tortured individual in Dayton, Ohio. I just watered the plants, trying to get some kind of activity for myself besides the activity of mental rape. I have probably 20 people actively. I sent about 20 passively and actively interacting with my brain 24 hours a day. That is a mind-blowing number of vampires. Robert Duncan had said that 3 was maximum. Anything more than 3 is schizophrenia. Each level, well, wouldn't they find something else to do with me? For instance, I was commanded to be a beta sex slave. I refused, and so I was punished. It seemed to be an attack from white women, which would be that it would mean that they were lesbians. Okay? I no longer participate in sexual activity of any kind. I don't even humor the thought. I cannot qualify myself as an individual that can participate in that activity. It's no longer suitable for the crime committed against me, which is organized stalking and neural weapons, directed energy weapons, and I'm being microwaved. Pulsed microwaves are shot into my skull 24 hours a day without a break. Okay? But this goes for everyone else, including the perps. This is a cancer-causing killing machine. They've gone through phases as they've introduced poor people from my mother's community to black community. They've now unleashed the technology in the poor black community. If you were a white supremacist and you ever thought there was about to be a problem, well, that problem is now. Because you don't want poverty-stricken black people using synthetic telepathy. They will eventually come into the white community, and they are in the white community now. Okay? So these white women that are in Kettering, where I got mind hacked, as you change locations, a new group will mind hack you. The previous group may continue to stay attached to your skull. You don't know unless you recognize their voices or the level of questioning. What they would do to me in this house if I had sexual activity with my companion, they would flood me. I'd get swarmed by whites, couples, women, men. You can sense that they were having sex, that they were watching, that they were masturbating, and it was barely audible. Okay? I would see holograms of sexual activity above the bed, wherever I looked, because I'm seeing microwaved holograms, and I can interact with these people that are gang raping me in Kettering. These are whites. If you're a white supremacist and you're gang raping a black woman, well, that's not white supremacy, is it? You're forcing your sexual self onto mine. I am not interested. No means no. I do not want to be gang raped by white females and white men. Now I'm gang raped by blacks. Okay? A lot of forced orgasms as they realized I was not going to be a beta sex slave participant. The humiliation of realizing that they realized I was better than them only infuriated them. She thinks she's better than us. It's been 2 years that I've interacted with the blacks in synthetic telepathy, and they've stolen everything. What does poverty and technology equate to? Grand theft. There's no exchange in data. There's no exchange in information. The only thing I can assess from what I've learned as a perp rolls by, a good old boy, they have nothing. In fact, they're not given anything for torturing me. So what they try to do is command the white handlers to give them drugs and money for their effort in trying to humiliate me sexually, raping me, stimulating me against my will, forcing me to have an orgasm. Once the whites realized that these were a bunch of poor losers, well, they took advantage of that fact. Do as I tell you to do. So they ended up being sexually humiliated by the whites of Kettering. I have heard black men from the west side of Dayton told to play with their penis in exchange for cocaine, and coercing each other to believe that cocaine is more important than me, cocaine is more important than their manlyhood, their blackness, their community, the country, and the earth. That in fact acquiring the drugs from torturing me resulted in a pattern of behavior where they equated drug use, drug acquiring with my abuse and torture and rape. This is not the most intelligent group. These are not college-educated people. This is not a racial stereotype. I know that there are various types of incomes that flood the black race globally. We have a billionaire in Africa, okay, who's the daughter of a king. They have oil, okay? We have entrepreneurs in the United States. We have scientists across California and Silicon Valley. We have in what's classified as Black America hundreds of millions of dollars per state that is spent, even amongst the poor and those on welfare. We on average may be spending more money on useless ticket items out of ignorance and foolishness, acquiring very little, spending a lot. Now imagine that this idiot reads your mind 24/7. It became a bartering. What can we do to get more cocaine? Okay, so what the white handler did is don't give them cash, give them drugs. Well, this is in itself a scientific experience and experiment. Monkeys in a cage, in a lab, a red button inside of that cage, a forced training. If you push that button, you will get a result. They push the button millions of times more in 1 year than the whites do. I have to ask myself why. What is the conditioning of their mind? What is a genetic marker? What could be possibly going on in their imagination that I am on the planet for their drugs? I've even tried to problem solve their inability to think critically about economics, how to get access to goods. They become addicted to your torture. Like the monkey in the cage in the lab, pushing that button, unable to let go, clawing at me 24 hours a day. Like nothing I have ever experienced in my targeting. It's been about 20 years. I'm a second generation TI. My mother's targeting is in no way, shape, or form anywhere near what I'm going through. So I will be requesting a FISA. I want to know why the fuck this is happening to me. Okay, I will be doing that today. Like Donald Trump. So, I think there are levels of slavery during the transatlantic slave trade. My theory is that in building the United States of America and utilizing the bodies of Africa, a physically superior body on the planet, we don't even need to argue this. Okay? And able to endure excruciating conditions of weather, given food and shelter and water, we would also kind of look like superheroes. Of course, on a slave plantation, there's food deprivation. So the average life expectancy for someone on a sugarcane plantation was 26 years of age. They would collapse and die. Okay? And because, it's such a large, vast continent, the supply was taken for granted that they would always consume more black bodies. Who cares? We'll just get more, quote, slaves. I would try to refrain from using the N-word. But we didn't just pick cotton. We are basically the reason why there's a patent office. In this slave exchange, trying to problem solve the labor, we designed technology to afford our ability to escape slavery. The cotton gin is one of the most profound examples of the black intellectual ability, okay? That when pushed beyond their abilities, well, we can't possibly turn out this product. I will design something. Okay, of course this person was not given rights to the patent. It was not given money for its production and sold. The cotton gin was sold across the country. The whites acquired millions of dollars per day off of us. We haven't even gotten reparations. Now what they're going to do is take different types of blacks and experiment on them. We have people who were conditioned and bred to be sex slaves on the plantation. People were conditioned and bred to be breeders, and that's all they did. Laborers, engineers, breastfeeding. The breeders were breastfeeding the white babies of America, of the house, of the elite of the United States. All of these institutions, the Ivy League institutions like Yale, these white men and women were breastfed by Africans, okay? You exchanged DNA with us, you had sex with us, breeding another group, another class, a lighter version of the African, which became a commodity. Isn't that cute? Look at that. Certain breeds to interact with white women, a softer, more delicate slave that wouldn't attack the bitch or kill her. And these slaves had every right to kill as many whites as they could. We're talking a monarch MK Ultra phenomenon. We're talking about beta. We're talking about a mega slave. We are talking about even Colin Powell, as he is a house nigger. Okay? We are talking about such trauma that the slime that was even created, the slimy shit that wasn't even breeding, that was used in the basements of these houses and sexually tortured and forced to fight one another, brutalized and kept alive, and then given the opportunity, became pregnant. Okay? 4 generations of that animal. They can't manage it. How long does it take to get off welfare? Everybody wants to know. Okay? If you tell us that black people are a representation of that monster, that female that is compulsively breeding to get more money, you can see she has a genetic marker to the breeder on the slave plantation. She is now attached to my skull. She is a fucking idiot. I have idiots attached to me, servicing sexually and doing whatever is told to them. I ended up on that front lawn, crawling myself out of that door, and ended up in ICU to escape. Okay? In fact, being a runaway slave. I ran to Virginia, where there was supposedly no cell phone towers. I ran to California to escape. I went to Africa. I have not built the Faraday cage. I have collected various types of magnets, attaching them to my body and brain and head, and I've even thought about consuming copper. I have fasted for 3 months to cleanse. I've cleansed. So I have a monstrosity from the transatlantic slave trade attached to me. It's not able to communicate. It is a Frankenstein. In fact, no. I've always had feelings for Frankenstein as the science community is programming us through Hollywood to be sympathetic towards Frankenstein, this man-made fucking monster, okay, on the slave plantation. You watch them, and yes, but this is not the Cosbys. Okay, my God, it's not my family. Everyone in my family has a job. I'm an artist, by the way. So now they're at the stage of what to do with Maryland now. Now they have a sick delusion of power over me, as the whites observed. They've collected all kinds of data. Every bit of defense is recorded. Every bit of defense is stolen. The blacks and the whites use it against me. Only there's 10 to 20 of them brutalizing me with my defense tactic. I play chess. I'm losing. Okay? I talk to TIs who say, come to California, come out west. Well, it seems like I've been told to go to California by the perps. The perps. My original handlers, who are white men and women, were trying to get me to coerce me to go to California. Why? I never in my imagination ever thought I'd live in California. Why would you want me to go? Oh my God, it is a hive of fucking psychosis. There's so many TIs in California all along the West Coast. They are trying to make a whole state, a nation of zombie apocalypse predators torturing the victims. Okay. From the homeless to Hollywood to Silicon Valley. Scientists, engineers, veterans, homeless people, housewives, black people, Mexicans, Asians, Chinese. Now it's global. Now it's like, today I woke up after another night of memory theft, which is now their big hoorah moment. They are living vicariously in my memories, using it as a form of social control over me, and which is basically making me psychotic. Okay, I struggle with my debilitating narcissism that's being inserted into me by the narcissists that are abusing me. When you become abused by the narcissist, you can easily become one. A psychotic can turn a normal, healthy brain into a psychotic, a sociopath. Okay? You wonder why they do it. Well, you look at the leaves and you see the holes in all the leaves in your property and the chemtrails being sprayed across the planet. What's the point? But back to what the blacks like to do now. I just heard a shot to the roof above my head. I have a satellite that follows me everywhere I go. I have eye damage from the microwaves. We're gonna need a lot more than Epsom salt. So they're interacting with the property. They're snooping around all the houses and apartments I've ever been in, every state I've ever lived in, every job, every person I ever met. Sometimes creating a homosexual event around a person they find to be appealing to them. Pretending to have sex in these spaces, having virtual realities in Manhattan. Their jealousy of me is mind-boggling. I have not had a very interesting life. It's to be honest, it's average. In fact, it's kind of depressing. The white handler chants, the white handler slave. Okay. I want to go to New York. I want to go to New York. Make her go to New York. He chants to the black slaves. So they coerce my brain. About 10 of them chant, New York, New York. Show us all your memories of New York. I can't escape it. There was a time that if I just woke up, I could escape it. Now they do it in the shower. They do it while I'm cleaning. They do it while I'm outside at the library, at my mother's. I rarely see my mother now. They're in so many stupid, mentally ill states of aggression against me. We want to see your grandmother's house. My God. Go in each room. We want to see. And then I awake or I'm asleep. What they're doing as a form of social engineering, the handler slave just yelled at me. Move out. He used to say, the whites used to say, move out of the community. Okay, and then what? I moved. I went to California. They raped and tortured me all the way to California, and I came back. They want me to be a slave. As he says, we want you to be the camera for the group, a hive mind of losers that have never had a career. I want to go to New York. I want to go to New York. Well, go. Buy a ticket. Be brave. Be me. Various friends I've had, they have repetitive avatars of rape and sex with them, which basically means they imagine being with the person and ejaculating in a hive mind of sex, a cult-like sex abuse of me. I wonder if I can get them to be Jonestown. I want them to drink the Kool-Aid. You know, how do you flip it on them? Well, you gotta get sleep. You're all gonna get raped when you go to sleep. You're gonna get shot when you go to sleep. Go to sleep no matter what it takes. It's not worth it to be sleep deprived. I was able to water the plants, look at the foliage, look at the flowers. I have a little bit more energy. I can talk. I can think better. Precisely because I slept last night and this morning. Now what they're doing, they're asking me what I'm doing. Even though they can see what I'm doing. What are you doing? They're entraining my brain to communicate with a large group, to broadcast my thoughts in various parts of the community of Dayton so others can hear and watch. There's potentially thousands of people in Dayton, Ohio who have seen my memories. This is grounds for war. This is grounds for treason. This is grounds for the Supreme Court, if I could prove it. Well, let's see how good Trump does with his FISA request. My God. He's being microwaved. He's being pulse microwaved in the White House. If he can prove it, they're going down. They're going down. I think we should all look into FISA and we should swarm it. I don't care what you do for a living or where you live. If you're living in a trailer or you're homeless, go to the fucking library, like I'm going to do today, and just get it over with. It's like the William Benny, he's collecting statistics about the TIs, what kind of targeting we have. If you don't have V2K, get on your hands and knees each morning and each night and say, thank God I don't have Maryland's targeting. It is hell. I have screamed bloody murder in this neighborhood. Bloody murder. Some of the neighbors don't even know what's going on. Bloody, blood-curdling screams. So the niggers can read your mind. My God. You know, I've begged them to sell me. Just sell me. Please, for the love of God, don't sacrifice me to the ghetto. Okay? They're masturbating as a group to memories. They go over what they recall. They're interacting with the memory to destroy me in a fake sense, which they're not destroying me. They're killing me. Which, okay, that is destroying me. They're slow killing me. Okay? Masturbating to my memories. You know how pathetic that is? By the way, my friend made that mailbox. It kind of looks like a birdhouse. I have to clean that door. It's exhausting, isn't it? They're masturbating 10 times a day. They're having sex. These black men, these white men are ejaculating, looking at my aunt in her younger years. Let's tell the truth. Let's write down what they do. It's not private. It's in a computer. It's been seen by the neighbors, by officials, by the bureaucrats, by the military. Okay? At NASA, at the Air Force Base, at the FBI and the CIA. Where are they getting all this cocaine? Who's bringing the cocaine in to keep them up 24 hours a day to pretend to have sex with my friend from New York, who was incredibly intelligent and beautiful? I wouldn't dare tell her. You know, what am I going to tell all these people? That their homes and private lives have been violated through a stream of memories of my consciousness by welfare mothers? Who would believe it? I guess the welfare recipients are being told to pay the piper. It's time to pay up. You better hope it's not you. Okay? Some Amish people down the street rehabbing a house. They're pretty cool. Man, oh, the good old days. Remember the good old days before this shit hit? We must destroy these assholes. Put them 6 feet under and put them in a cage. Destroy them. Destroy them. Not pray for them. Destroy them.